best, 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 best.
Never spent.
Never spent. Never spent. Placement.
Never spent.
Okay, a vowel sound that I continuously find giving trouble to students because it's a little bit particular. The way American English will treat it compared to other languages. This is the vowel sound that you're going to find at the start of letters. For instance, like when you say like F or S or M and things like that. It's that little sound right before those letters. So we want to make sure we're saying those right, because otherwise what people can hear is they can hear like an sound, or they may even hear like an sound depending on how we're doing it. It's a little bit contradictory in the sense that we want a lot of air moving through our throat and our chest area. However, once it gets to our mouth, the goal is actually to start you almost want to think of it as like blocking breath a little bit. So the back of the tongue is going to rise, the middle of the tongue is going to rise, and the front of the tongue is going to rise a little bit, and it's going to be relatively flat. Okay, so something that can help with this too, you don't have to do this, but something that can help is having the sides of your tongue touch your top teeth, almost like you're biting the sides of your tongue a little bit. So like, then the other thing that can be helpful too is that we don't need our mouth like super wide vertically for this. I see a lot of students, they're really popping their mouths open a lot, like and you can probably even hear that that is really starting to get into that territory, where people could really start confusing that. So it can be helpful to close the mouth, you know, as much as possible in some ways, like versus You know, I'm not really changing my tongue position a lot when I'm making those shifts, but you could probably hear a pretty dramatic difference in terms of sound. Milad, I'll start with you. Can you just try to make that sound for me? Just like Hold it a little longer, just for a moment. So it almost sounds like a schwa. I don't want it to sound like Can you hear a difference between and Can you hear a difference?
Yeah.
Let's do, to keep things simple, let's do 3 sounds like in best, and then let's do 3 schwa sounds sounds like in bus. So like Can you do that for me? There we go. Yeah, now I'm starting to hear the difference much more clearly. Good. Okay. Emmanuel, let's do this. Let's do the same thing. Can you just say the sound 3 times? So again, Let's maybe hold it a little longer. It's like I think the sound itself is okay, but the placement feels a little high. It feels like Do you hear a difference? I like the second one, especially at the start, but I felt like it curled up towards the end. Can you do like Yeah, in general, you know, I would try to use those lower ones. Let's do just a general progression, in case people are having a hard time with that. Can you say like best?
Best.
Again, the placement just feels a little high. It's like best versus best.
Best.
Don't drag out the S too long. It's not best. You know, assume we're best.
Best.
Can you say that 3 times? Best.
Best.
Now that was very different than the previous ones. I don't know if you felt that placement wise.
I did.
I like that one. Milad, can you give me one of these?
S.
Okay, so like the letter?
Yeah.
Can you say that again for me?
S.
Hold the vowel a little bit longer. S.
S.
Can you say that 3 times? S.
S.
Can you make the S even, the S sound even shorter? S.
S. S.
Yeah, I like those more. Remember, we're focused on vowels, not the consonant sounds. We're trying to really shift the weight onto those vowels. Okay. I know it's a consonant, I know it's a single letter, but we're still going to put the emphasis on the, the vowel sound that comes before the S. Okay? It's kind of the ironies of spelling things. Milad, I'll stick with you for a moment. Can you say one of these pairs for me?
Never spent.
Never spent. Never spent. Placement.
Never spent.
Give space to your vowel sound, sir.
Never spent.
Never.
Never.
Never spent.
Never spent.
Can you say ever for me? Ever.
Ever.
Can you lower your placement slightly? Ever.
Ever.
Good. Ever. Never.
Ever. Never.
I think that ends cause your placement to go up a little bit. Ever. Never.
Ever. Never.
There you go. Can you say ever, never, never spent?
Ever. Never. Never spent.
Do you hear how when you said never and then you said never spent, the never wasn't the same? It went high. It's like ever, never, never spent versus ever, never, never spent.
Ever. Never. Never spent.
Better. Okay. Questions for me on that, Mila?
Yeah, I don't know why he's coming grazing.
Got you. Just watch out for that. I mean, it's yeah, that the letter N can very routinely cause placement to go up. Just be careful. Emmanuel, can you give me a pair here?
How about heavy head? Heavy head.
Heavy head. Heavy head.
Heavy head.
Can you say head?
Head.
Head. Head.
Head.
Hold your vowel a little longer. Head.
Head.
Still placement a little high. Head.
Head.
Kind of shifted as you got to the D. Head.
Head.
Head. Head.
Head.
Better. Heavy.
Heavy.
Heavy. Heavy.
Heavy.
Heavy head.
Heavy head.
Can you go lower placement on head still? Heavy head.
Heavy head.
A little too heavy on the V sound. Heavy head.
Heavy head.
Placement's high. Heavy head.
Heavy head.
Still a high. Heavy head. Heavy head.
Heavy head.